The fact that the U.S. Navy heard that this Ocean Gate,
the same Sunday went missing.
heard that this thing went missing.
Just say your conspiracy already.
It looks like...
Or say your theory.
Welcome back
To another week.
Sometimes Crypto.
The Unscripted
Crypto Podcast.
Hey, yo.
That was fun.
He did drum one. You make it weird.
I don't make it weird.
You do weird things to make it
you
weird.
just think it's
You know
weird.
what? Get into it.
Okay. What are we getting into?
I think we should start with the Bitcoin, the crypto stuff first.
The crypto stuff
we
and
go
then
on
all
tangents
and then all the
yeah,
other
we
stuff.
just go off on the end. It's gonna be a conspiracy podcast at the rate
This
this
is going
goes.
to be a very big conspiracy podcast, it looks like.
We're not professionals in any rights that we're about to talk on.
We don't wear tinfoil hats.
Just sometimes.
Just okay. Well, on crypto-related news, the first ETF has gone live.
No.
No. We was like say that right.
Say that one more time.
Say that right. The first Bitcoin ETF.
No.
By
Are you
BlackRock. After
has gone live.
Well, what do you mean? Correct me, William. Correct me.
I don't know a report, but I know it's not an ETF.
ETF. Is it not ETF?
You said fund.
I said fund. Yeah. What's an ETF?
Exchange traded fund. I don't. It wasn't an ETF that got it.
It's an ETF by BlackRock.
Impossible. It did not get.
The SEC approved it.
No, it did not.
BitX, I think it's called. Look. I'm gonna pull it up on like the actual, like, what's it called, exchange. Robinhood, but even it's the only one I got on my phone. Yeah, BitX, 2x Bitcoin strategy ETF. Now my thing is, I don't know if this is the one that's BlackRock approved, but it is SEC approved.
Nothing shows up for that.
BitX.
I'm not talking about BitX. I'm talking about BlackRock ETF.
Okay.
No, it says this is Blockworks. What does the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF filing mean for Grayscale?
Okay.
That doesn't mean there's no approval here.
Okay, for the BlackRock one.
Correct.
But there is a Bitcoin ETF that went live today.
I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying.
BitX. BitX went live today. Again, I don't know which bank or which company money manager is handling it, but it seems like it was doing good numbers. Today's Tuesday, the 27th, by the way. This is going to go live on Thursday. In the first 15 minutes, it was reported to have done $500,000 in volume. And at the end of the day, $4.2 million in volume. So in the first 15 minutes, what was that? Bitcoin's trading around $30,000. I need to get better at math, man. I'm
just trying to verify what you're saying right now.
About 16 Bitcoins were transferred within 15 minutes. On at least not Bitcoin, my bad. 16 stocks of that ETF. 16. So it's about the wording. The wording is very important.
What's the name of it?
It's BITX. That's the ticker symbol. So 16.6 Bitcoin worth of value was transferred on the ETF's like total volume for the first 15 minutes. I'm not a finance major, guys. I don't know the terminologies. This guy, that's why I got him, the fact checker. The guy on the computer doing some quick research. But that's very big news. Fidelity decided to start doing the paperwork for that, and there's rumors about Kathy Wood of ARK Invest deciding to do the same thing, and she's going to start filing for Bitcoin ETF as well. So it looks like Bitcoin derivative-ish type of investing is coming to the public.
It's a futures. It's a leverage ETF.
What is a okay? What is an ETF?
It's an exchange traded fund. It just means that it's a pool of financial tools that you can invest in, essentially.
Exchange traded fund. So a fund is just like, Jesus Christ. A fund is just a set of assets, a pool of assets.
Yeah. So it's a futures ETF. It's not. It's not a regular.
So
it's different because it's not the first one of its kind to get approved.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I think there's one.
There's others future ETFs to get.
I think there's one in 2021 that I kept on saying some stuff about, but I didn't have a chance to read into it. Or my DMs. I usually DM stuff to myself. First leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. Yep. BitX launched today. Let's see what Twitter has to say. Yo, these scammers try to get on these things fast. BitX Finance is a utility token which offers tools for USDT projects. Crazy. I don't know if that's a scam or not, but it looks scam-esque. Okay. Yeah, it's a leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. It started trading today. So what do you think, William?
I truly don't know what it is exactly. I know it's different. I just don't know exactly how they're different.
Oh, like the leverage thing?
Yeah. From what I was reading, it kind of uses it uses leverage. It's not really.
So
not exactly sure. I would have to read more about it.
First rule, before we get into it again, would be that if it's not your keys, it's not your coin. So even if you buy this shares of this ETF, it does not mean that you're buying Bitcoin. It means that you're buying something that's supposed to represent Bitcoin in some financial standing. It's not actual Bitcoin. It's still not, at least it's not Bitcoin that you're owning or holding or managing yourself. It's a third party. 2 times leveraged Bitcoin. So it's 2 times leveraged.
So it's not the same. From what I've quick Googling, a leveraged ETF essentially, it's just heavily leveraged position for a future price or for it's just a high leverage asset that can you can have short-term losses much quicker. Not really sure that's a great explanation of what it is, but that's all I can gather.
So this was approved, it looks like June 23rd, a few days ago, 4 days ago.
Yes.
5-6 days ago from the time of this being posted, that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission approved the first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. Kind of for the United States, and it's true. Yep, started trading today. There's very little information on this, actually, to be quite honest.
So essentially, it's a leverage ETF is an exchange traded fund that uses debt or financial derivatives. Yeah, didn't want to come out as leverage to amplify returns of a benchmark index such as the S&P 500. The example they gave, it's a traditional ETF is 1-to-1, while a leverage one is 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, trying to double or triple their respective prices.
The returns?
Yeah, returns. My fault. But it's a little different. That's why when you said the first ETF, I'm like, no way.
It's not my bad. The first.
But yes.
2 times leverage ETF.
Something like that. More information would be gathered because I don't know enough about it. Sorry about that.
It was
I feel like that really slowed down the pod for a second. I just completely stand still.
William came in ready to go straight into a bunch of different things.
That was just a real big stand, so we just got into my fault.
Hold on. I need to do some research real quick. So,
Not research, just to provide the most accurate information
Correct. The most accurate information
that we have at the time. But that's what we have at this time.
That's what we got at the time.
I'm not really bringing us to a standstill.
Okay, cool. So that's all the crypto news that I was really seeing. Bitcoin's still at 30,000 ish, and actually, as of today, also Robinhood is delisting Solana and Cardano. I believe
I
Cardano.
already did that.
No, delisting it.
I already did that.
So at this point, if you still had a position in those coins, they're gonna sell it off and just put in credit into your account.
Oh.
Yeah, because before.
But you have your keys. Why would they do that?
You don't have your keys.
But don't they have a wallet?
They have wallet features, but it's custodial, or not. It's a custodial wallet. Like they're in custody of your coins. You don't have any keys.
But you can send it out.
You can send it out, but there's like an approval process. Like when I first did it, I decided to try it out. I bought Ethereum on Robinhood and I tried to send it out, and it took like 24 hours for them, like some amount of time. I don't remember how much time, but it took some time for them to be like, oh yeah, there's an approval process. We'll see, we'll approve it, and then we'll send it out. Because they say it's like, oh, for consumer security, so that you don't send out coins to an unauthorized, so like a non-good wallet. Like if you
like a whitelisted.
Yeah, like if you send a USDC to a Bitcoin wallet, they don't want that to happen either.
Oh, so okay, interesting.
At least that's what they claim. But yeah, so if you didn't sell your Solana on Robinhood yet, then
sell it.
Then no, it's too late. They already sold it. Yeah, they sold it for you, and they'll be crediting you the
That's
funds.
wild. Not your keys, not your coins, right?
Not your keys, not your coin. So there's other news going on. Random stuff around the world. Maybe not so random things. Where should we start?
I don't. Why you ask? Just segue into one.
Segue into one?
Yeah. Just. Alrighty, so we're gonna continue off where we left off last week with this submarine thing that imploded. That now we know imploded after the fact.
Well, because we didn't talk about that last week.
We did.
No. Well, we talked about it, but we didn't know that it was, like, at least at the time
we didn't know until Thursday.
Yeah.
Until the oxygen was going to run out. We didn't know.
That's when we found out that.
Well, yeah, information came out after the fact that.
After our recording session.
Yes. That the U.S. Navy already heard the implosion while it occurred. As it occurred. When it occurred.
So.
They heard a thing in the water.
Oh, so they heard it happen.
What do you think happened?
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
the submarine was driving by, and
they just saw it. No. They have underwater microphones to catch, listen into other submarines that are not friendly or whatever's moving in and out of the coast.
Well, now you know.
And they heard it implode when it reached 9,000 feet, roughly, is what they said.
Oh wow. So, how long did it take for it to reach the 9,000 feet?
I didn't verify the hours because originally when it came out, I said it was 2 hours and a half into its voyage, and it's an 8-hour voyage.
Okay, so about 2 hours and a half in.
That's what. Well, he said 2 hours. Mm-hmm. But at 9,000 feet, the Titanic's like at 12,500 feet. Like
it was it still had a long ways to go.
Did it?
Well, yeah, because the thing is, whenever you're going down into pressure, you can't just go straight down. like climatize the submarine.
I don't think it works like that. I think it just has to have a constant pressure.
Well, yeah, it has to have a constant. That's why you can't sink super fast because.
Does that apply for submarines too?
Yeah.
But I think they always do it so quickly.
Well, the more advanced the submarine,
we got bigger. Yeah, you're right.
The more advanced.
Right. But not even that. It's more so they had a bunch of safety regulation problems already. Like not regulations. They had a lot of safety concerns already. That 2018, one of the guys who was there for safety and everything else, wrote an entire report on it, and they fired him.
Oh, really? For the company, Watergate?
Yeah. OceanGate.
All right,
Watergate's with Nixon, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Or Reagan. Nixon.
Nixon.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Can you check it?
No.
What if someone's outside?
Leave him outside. We're in here.
Oh, my God.
What do you mean? It's not like the door opened. I didn't hear it. Like, it didn't sound like the door opened.
For sure. Cool. Well, if we die, it's William's fault.
Right. But back on the sub, yeah. So that occurred, and they found out later on that it imploded. Well, they found out after the fact. Even though there's entire search and rescue that was paid by taxpayers.
Wait, what? There was a search and rescue paid by taxpayers?
Oh, wait. Who do you think paid the Coast Guard to go and search for them? Who do you think pays for the Coast Guard?
Okay, so this is where it's going to get spicy.
The tax...
Okay, so the Coast Guard, the U.S. Navy.
Yeah.
Coast Guard.
No.
Which one?
U.S. Navy is U.S. Navy. U.S. Navy is who's heard it. The Coast Guard is who was also called in.
To do the search.
Well, part of them. I'm sure there was more agencies called in.
Okay. So the U.S. Navy heard the implosion 2 hours after it went down underwater.
When it imploded, they heard it.
Okay. And the Coast Guard was deployed to conduct a search.
Well, search and rescue, as other agencies were.
Until they found debris. Correct. How long after did they find?
They found it on Thursday, and they went missing Tuesday.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah, I remember the news Thursday morning saying that they found debris, but it was after the 4 days.
Thursday's 4 days.
Yeah, it was 4 days, correct. But they went missing in the morning, didn't they?
I don't know what you're asking. Okay, I need you to tell me what you're trying to ask me because I'm not following.
Okay, so I remember. I might be wrong on this, but I remember they went down the conversations that we had, that they went down pretty early in the morning, 4 days before Thursday, Monday.
Okay.
And that I saw the news about the debris being found around 11 in the morning. So after the 4 days of oxygen.
Thursday morning, 11 or whenever. I think that report came out a little later, the debris one. Mm-hmm. But 11 o'clock 11, or 10:30 in the morning, there's no more oxygen. No more oxygen. That's when it was supposed to run out.
Okay. And then they found the debris afterwards.
A little after, I'm assuming.
Okay. So they were just searching for the debris.
Or no, originally the entire time up until Thursday, it was search and rescue, trying to find...
Search and rescue, yeah.
Was trying to find the Titan. Even though it already imploded.
And that's where it gets fishy.
I don't know about fishy.
I would say fishy.
Okay.
I would say that sounds fishy.
I think Alex might have fun now on this podcast and not be so uptight.
So that's where I think it gets fishy. Because if the U.S. Navy heard an implosion at 2,000 feet.
Son, I just said 9,000 feet.
Oh, my bad. 2 hours. 9,000 feet, 2 hours after... They went down 2 hours or so.
Continue.
And the Coast Guard was searching for them for 4 days.
Not just the Coast Guard, but yes.
Yeah. Search and rescue.
Not just the Coast Guard, but yes.
Not just Coast Guard? Who else was searching for them?
The article that if I'm not mistaken, is up with the episode. The original episode said it was Coast Guard, some other government agencies, and other private submarine style companies were also looking.
Also, that was a whole bunch of people looking for.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's more than I expected. I thought it was just gonna be OceanGate, the Coast Guard, and maybe one other agent, private agency.
No.
Cool. So after the implosion, was OceanGate aware, or just the U.S. Navy? Because the fact that the U.S. Navy knew that it imploded, and they allowed the U.S. Coast Guard to go search and rescue at 9,000 feet, there's no way. There's no way they're gonna be alive. That's insane.
I'm reading a quick article. Let me tell you.
I have Twitter open. And I have like this red panda just eating cheese on loop. Completely irrelevant, but it's super, super cute. Quick pause.
I'm not pausing. I'm quick grind. You're just not good at keeping conversation by yourself.
William, I don't talk to myself that much. At least not aloud. This is because look.
So apparently,
U.S. Navy heard it. They had to have some type of communication with the Coast Guard. Someone in the Coast Guard, for a fact, knew. I wouldn't say for a fact, but someone in the Coast Guard should be informed that there has been an implosion.
So this is exactly what this says here. The Navy said that it shared the findings Sunday with the Coast Guard, which led the search. The search, U.S. defense officials said. The U.S. held off making public what noises it had detected because it wanted to ensure search and rescue operations continued and couldn't say for sure it was an implosion at the time they heard it.
Okay.
So yeah, they went down. They heard it.
They heard something, but they didn't know what they heard.
Yeah, but this came out Thursday. This is a Wall Street Journal article. It was updated the 22nd of June.
Okay.
The 22nd of June was Thursday. This happened. They told the Coast Guard Sunday what occurred, that they heard the noise. So the
Coast Guard was aware that
there was a noise.
That there was a noise.
That they just can't confirm it was an implosion or not.
So that's why they continued.
That's why they continued the search
and rescue.
Correct.
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point to be. Oh, we still need to find them because.
You think the U.S. Navy knows what's an implosion?
Might as well. William's asking fun questions.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
William's asking some fun questions. I'm gonna be honest with you, William.
You don't think they know what something sounds like in the water?
So William, be real honest with you. Up until how long have we been recording? Up until like about 24 minutes ago.
I don't know. We've been babbling along for a while in this episode.
I didn't know that they were like recording the sounds in the ocean.
Do you not? Okay.
You're right. I'm
gonna go on sidetrack. Do you not remember when we went to Hawaii?
Mm-hmm.
Now we went to Pearl Harbor and they had this. I asked the dude, how many current U.S. Navy ships are here that are active, or how many there were in general. He goes, I cannot tell you. I can only tell you that 70% of our Navy is always in the water. Mm-hmm. Then I asked him, what's that big thing over there?
And what was it?
It was a giant ass radar that gets pulled out to the middle of the ocean. Mm-hmm. That has a 1,500 mile radius that can read.
That's huge. No, I don't remember that. I don't think I was there for that.
You were 100% there.
Was I?
You were 100%.
Okay. Apparently, I don't listen to a lot of your conversations.
Yeah. And that's why you're struggling in life right now.
Justin, Alex should listen to William more, according to William.
According to a lot of people.
Sources.
But yeah, guys. Yeah.
Okay, so you think that they should have a pretty good idea of what an implosion,
I think they would know.
Of what an implosion sounds like.
I think they would know what a lot of things sound like in the water, not just an implosion.
Yeah. True. Like a speeding torpedo. You should definitely know what that sounds like.
I think they know what everything sounds like in the water.
Everything.
I think it's been tested.
It's been tested. We need to identify all the noises.
Especially if they know what's already in that area.
Mm-hmm.
The report would have come in as gone missing. Even if they didn't register it immediately when it happened, if the report comes
as soon as
it gets reported, this thing went missing. It gets to them. They go, this went missing. How long ago? An hour and a half. When did the sound go off? An hour and a half ago. Interesting. Correlation is not causation.
Correct. Correlation does not imply causation.
Or what? I think I used the wrong.
But that's kind of irrelevant there.
I think I used the wrong. No, I used the wrong.
No, that's the right term.
Is it?
Correlation does not imply causation. Just because two things happen at the same time does not imply that
exactly what I'm saying. So just because it went missing an hour and a half ago and we heard a noise an hour and a half ago doesn't mean it's missing.
But if you know what the sound is,
son, you're gonna tell me you don't know what the sound is?
So that's the thing. If you are confident that the U.S. Navy can identify sounds like an implosion,
I'm saying they probably can.
Then why keep the information?
Because they can't, like they said in the report, they couldn't confirm.
So they had to wait.
So okay, are you trying to lead to a conspiracy theory, or are you just trying to keep on pushing me to say the same thing? I want to know what you're trying to do, so I know how to pivot.
I want to learn. I want to know what you're trying to say, Alex.
I want to know how you want me to pivot this.
So typically, it seems like on the typical for news cycles is that they keep the news around.
Time to get to the bread and butter of this episode.
It seems like they keep the news around.
Nervous.
Yeah, because conspiracies cause hot takes.
Where's the conspiracy?
All right, so was there other news?
Listen, guys,
that should have been talked about.
There's a lot of news that should have been talked about. That should have been more prominent.
We was like, let's get into
it. If we're gonna get canceled, get canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Enough teasing.
Stop teasing the people. This has been a boring podcast up until right now.
Okay, so
our president's son. Hunter. Typical white person name. I will say that much. Why did I say that? It's just the first thing that came to my brain. I'm sorry.
We was getting nervous.
Listen,
okay, so
it was jokes.
What happened to Biden?
It's not what happened to Biden. Hunter Biden was indicted. Is indicted the right word?
Indicted, maybe.
He was prosecuted.
Prosecuted?
Yeah, I don't know which one I'm using anymore. But he what I do know is that he did plead guilty to multiple counts of misdemeanors.
Okay.
For tax evasion.
For avoiding to pay taxes.
Avoiding to pay taxes. Overseas, when he was doing his dealings overseas, using his dad's name to get, make the money moves.
His businesses.
Apparently, in the year of 2018 and 2019, or 2017, 2018, I'm not sure. It's one of those three. It's only 2 years, though. He made around $3 million. And he didn't pay any taxes for. So he got back taxes.
$3 million that was unpaid in taxes.
Yes.
So he got back tax this year.
The
IRS said you didn't pay this money, so now you got to pay that plus interest.
Well, not just. Where's the plus interest here?
There's a plus interest.
There is no plus interest.
If you don't pay.
Listen. No.
Okay. Continue. Just continue with him.
If you're a regular person, maybe there'll be interest. But he's not a regular person, so there is no interest here.
He's the son of the president.
So technically, for his federal crimes of tax evasion, if he was any regular person, from everything I've seen is he should have gone. It wouldn't be a misdemeanor; it would be a felony, outright. But they were able to downgrade it.
It's called a plea deal.
For the plea deal. So they're calling it a sweetheart deal is what he got.
Yeah, that's a very lenient.
And then the very next day after he accepts the plea deal, he goes to the president's dinner. Like, that dinner they do? It's a dinner that they had and that he went to.
The United States president.
No, that Hunter went to.
Yeah, okay, no, you said the president's dinner.
It was a dinner.
Okay, a dinner.
Where the president's there with
a formal dinner.
A formal dinner with a bunch of other congressional people and people who run the world, country, whatever you want to say. And he was there, and then the next day, after that dinner, they go to question his aide, the person who speaks on behalf of Biden. And she was, and every time they asked her, so we want to know how is it that the president's, how did Hunter get there? Like how did he go to the dinner? And she was like, I'm not answering that. And then she kept on jumping from one reporter to the next. And every reporter kind of asked the same questions, like, "Hey, why is he there?
Why is he there?
If he was any other person, he would not be there." And she just kept on saying, "No, that's her. That's the president's son. I'm not going to get into it. Blah blah blah." The interesting part about it all is that with the IRS fighting, it didn't just come out that he owed those back taxes. Also, it was reported that in text messages that he was using maybe not his father's name directly, but he was like saying the big guy, to strong arm these other political leaders and other political influencers in I believe it was China. I'm not 100%. I gotta verify that one to get those deals done. Like basically what they're saying was,
he's like, look,
it wasn't me. This is what I read. Is they're kind of calling, as they were from the beginning, Biden aide was being questioned by these reporters, and she just never gave a full-on response to what it was. And then what everyone's saying is that that Hunter was essentially just doing deals overseas in behalf of Biden, essentially. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. There's no real clarity on that. But it is kind of funny how 2 years ago now, but during the elections, that story of Hunter Biden's laptop, that was true.
Yeah, like
it's proven true.
That there was
a laptop. It is owned by him. It is all these things. Was completely suppressed, and now this
during the election,
and now it's not. Like this isn't trying. It's either they can't suppress it, or it's because it's too obvious. But now even the reporters that are left leaning are questioning it. It's kind of what's the word? I don't know the word I'm looking for.
I don't know what the word you're looking for.
But yeah, it's interesting. Interesting developments are occurring.
That is interesting. So this thing was big news back then, but it was like conspiracy at the time. We're like, there is no laptop, or
so it wasn't even that. It was like on Twitter, you weren't allowed to send it.
You
couldn't send the article.
You could send there was like one tweet that was blowing up, and Twitter suppressed it, where like people were sending it to like DMing it.
Yeah, you couldn't DM it,
but it would never reach the other person.
Yeah,
this was released on the Twitter files.
Facebook also suppressed it. Every social media site suppressed that. That there was a laptop with all this criminal allegations, and that it was just being suppressed towards at that point running nominees.
So the thing is, it had nothing to do with the actual nominee. It was the son of the nominee.
Well, the implementation he's using his father's name to get it done.
Oh, so yeah, the idea is
he's involved. I'm not saying involved in the sense of he's told his son to do it. More so, his son used his name to maybe make it happen.
It looks like the son was using his last name and his father's name to try to get business done.
There could be more there.
Whether or not Joe Biden.
Well, he says he said no. He has said no, that he had no clue of any of this.
This is exactly what anyone who gets caught cheating says. Deny, deny, deny.
Hey, man, you said it, not me.
Yeah, because it's true. No person who gets caught who actually has a brain would say that.
I think if you have a brain, you just say, you caught me. I think it's easier.
Not when it's crimes like that. No.
Not when it's crimes like that, you're right. But like, look at Dana White's situation.
It was
a little different. It was like when they told him, when they asked him the next day, you slapped your wife, and he goes, yes, I did. There's no denying it. And then he just went, I have to deal with it. It's my failure, whatever. Anything else you guys want to add? And he just like got in front of it. They're not getting in front of it. They're trying to suppress and hide it, which I think makes it worse. Adds to it.
Yeah.
But continuing.
So the fact that happened during the election and suppressed seems like an impediment of big tech in the national democracy. First of all, that's kind of irrelevant, but it's not irrelevant. It's not that it's not irrelevant. It's tangential. So the fact that this information is being leaked because the contents of the hard drive was leaked to the public just proves that things were no longer allegations or myths. They were confirmed that he was indeed doing shady business. And now that this stuff is going on with the big man and tax evasion and more business is being done.
Like there's emails and not emails, pictures and and text messages going back and forth with other foreign countries that we're not friendly with.
Seems a little sketchy on Hunter Biden's perspective, and the fact that he got away with only misdemeanors.
Yeah, plea deal and everything
is insane. Because misdemeanor, plea deals are fine. It's okay to have
take the deal. Yeah, but no one's gonna get the deal he got.
No one would get that deal.
No one got away with it.
No one would get that deal. Now, my question: Who gave him that? The judge had to approve that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kind of. I guess you can kind of be told to approve it. The whistleblower the whistleblower from the IRS is talking about how they slow-stepped the process, how they did not do things. They didn't do things the way they would have done it if it was someone else, which makes sense.
They wouldn't have taken as long.
They wouldn't have taken as long. It would have been handled. It would have been handled differently, is what he says.
And when did this news come out?
I believe Thursday.
Thursday?
Last Thursday. Correct.
After they talked about Ocean Gate?
I think it was during the same time frame.
Same time frame.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, the fact that the U.S. Navy heard that this Ocean Gate...
The same Sunday went missing.
Heard that this thing went missing. And
so it's a conspiracy. Just say your conspiracy already.
It looks like...
Or say your theory. We're just having a conversation. Just say your conversation.
It looks like...
What do you think is happening?
Someone in the military decided to withhold some information to the general public. A public servant decided to withhold information to the general public. For national security or not, I don't know. I don't see how this would have to do with anything with national security.
I think that there is some national security there.
What?
It's how fast can we detect an explosion or an implosion going on in our waters.
With him out here being a true patriot, defending the
I'm not saying that's government. Right. I am saying
I'm not like.
Well, I am a patriot.
I'm applauding you for that.
We do love America.
Yeah, of course.
Even though
I get the situation. In fact, but the fact that they weren't able to identify it also kind of mean what else can they not identify?
I think it's even up to
so
it's kind of let the enemy think that we can't identify quick enough. Make it seem.
But then that just opens us up to they don't know.
It's but it's you're baiting them. It's
but I think it'd be better. Yeah, we found out immediately versus then we didn't know. We had to see for 4 days.
I think it keeps them guessing.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
both are accurate.
And
sense of deception.
These are just opinions and thoughts of tactics, game theory.
But it does look like the game that they played was
delay some information, keep people distracted because it doesn't make headlines. It does it so things don't make headlines, certain things.
Yes,
because what was making headlines was the Titan being sunk.
Yes,
and not found.
Correct.
That's crazy. Did something else happen?
What else happened?
I don't know. I could have sworn something else happened.
Oh no.
Okay, I don't remember, but I could have sworn there was some other big news going on during the time of the
Talking about Epstein, the guy who got.
I think something happened.
The guy who committed suicide.
The guy in jail.
In jail,
where there's no knives or weapons.
He hung himself.
He hung himself.
Even though the coroner's report said. And
the cameras for his cell wasn't working.
Apparently that day.
Or any cells in that. Specific,
it's odd. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, some sketchy stuff going on there too.
Yeah, not
right?
sure. But apparently his some emails with Chase.
Not Corey Chase or some.
No, Chase the bank.
JP Morgan.
JP Morgan Chase. Yeah, some emails, some 47 million emails were deleted. That were sent between Chase and himself. Well, him and Chase.
Yeah,
I'm saying himself. My fault.
So this was lost on.
This was deleted information.
Really? Mm-hmm. Was that when the whole banking system went down, crashing? Or,
I don't know anything about that.
Not the banking system. My bad. The email system. Or was that a different bank?
That could be something different.
I think that was a different bank. I think that was a local bank. Yeah, the email system for a local bank went down. My bad. Completely irrelevant to JP Morgan Chase. But yeah, it was the tune of 40-some million emails got deleted from.
Yeah. So I just put up a quick report from the returns says JP Morgan, $290 million settlement with Epstein accusers wins preliminary approval. Judge on Monday granted preliminary approval to JP Morgan Chase $290 million settlement with women who said Jeffrey Epstein abused them and that the largest U.S. bank turned a blind eye to let the financiers sex trafficking. And this was approval by the U.S. District Attorney. U.S. District Judge, Jed Rakoff in Manhattan Federal Court.
I wonder what was on those emails.
Son, when you got that much money moving around, who knows?
The thing that's crazy is that JP Morgan Chase got caught in this whole issue with containers that were being funded. The shipment of these containers was being funded by the bank. Yeah. And the containers were filled with cocaine.
Yeah, they were moving it.
And nothing happened. Like
they got sued.
They got sued?
They got some sort of suing, and then they just paid it out.
They paid it out.
That's it. I talked about this with my coworker the other day. I'm like, the bigger you get,
the harder it is to take you down.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I guess that's why people are afraid about these large companies just controlling everything within the U.S. markets.
Yeah, but they're allowed to get not allowed to get that size. They're allowed to get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're allowed to get away with it, is what you said.
Yeah.
There's like no one actually cracking down.
No, man.
Because someone's getting paid off.
Not even someone's getting paid off. Someone has a job because of that person. If I fix the issue, I lose my job.
Oh, so what you're saying is that the person who's supposed to be overseeing that,
they allow things to happen. People allow things to happen to a level.
Mm-hmm. That's not wrong. I wouldn't say that actually sounds pretty accurate.
That's why you don't fix problems.
That's why problems don't get fixed.
But it's kind of that's interesting. Interesting things are going on in the news.
So those two things happened at the same time.
Exact same time.
The exact same time.
Yeah.
Like those 4-day period.
Yeah. I think what people are starting to is they use some sort of media to distract from other things that are going on.
Sounds familiar.
When did they do this? When don't they do this?
When don't they do this?
You're right.
Anytime you hear something on the news is because they're typically trying to distract you from something else.
Like I didn't even look into this thing, but apparently I was looking. All this I have videos for, which I'm gonna link. It's all from Breaking Point's independent news sources, and they're doing they have a segment that there was another train derailment.
Really?
Yeah. Like those haven't stopped.
They haven't stopped?
No, apparently they had another one.
There's still trains being derailed.
Another China spy balloon was found hovering over Japan.
Really?
Yeah, things don't stop.
You know what's crazy? Japan. I don't think Japan can actually shoot those down.
Well, yeah, they can. They have a defense force.
Yeah, defense force.
That's defense.
That's defense?
Pretty sure.
Are they under attack?
Yeah, that's attack. I'm pretty sure spying.
Okay, cool. Sure. I would consider it a defense too, but
all right, maybe. But I think they did shoot it down though.
Okay, good for them.
I think they did.
Thank you, Japan, for doing your job.
But
doing good on your nation.
Interesting stuff.
Apparently, the one that was here in the United States was flying over a nuclear base.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and they just let it fly over.
So the report that came
out... I get hot.
The report that came out for that one was that they didn't want to... Apparently, they knew exactly when it entered our airspace, but they didn't want to let China know how fast we can be aware of things entering our airspace.
That's the most... Okay, again, I think that's bad logic. Shoot it down immediately, boom, boom, get it done with.
But I think they couldn't shoot it down exactly where it was because where it was breaking our airspace was not over water.
Well, it was over water.
When it entered?
Well, yeah, because my thing would be like, it's not just take down the asset, you got to take down and acquire the asset. You can't let it fall back into the hands of the enemy.
Yeah, it's in our space. It's not going to.
Shouldn't. but there's likely be a reconnaissance. China had the audacity to ask for it back.
Yeah.
When we shot it down.
Yeah, because they knew they couldn't get it. They couldn't come in here and get it back.
Yeah, of course they couldn't come here and get it. But if they could have.
I want you to know you can't go to China.
Me?
I want you to know that.
I'm a friend of the Chinese.
When you go missing,
I'm a friend of the Chinese.
If you go missing, I warned you.
If I go missing, just make it public. It's U.S. government. I trust you. I'm not gonna do anything wrong over there. I wouldn't say anything that.
You already said too much. You're already going against China. Like what you're doing right now.
I'm not going against China. No. I just don't like it when people invade personal space.
You're going against China.
That's not.
They have the liberty to go and take your personal space. It's China.
Do you have the liberty to take my personal space?
Yep.
What does that mean?
You think anyone in China has personal space?
Yeah, they have personal space.
No, they don't.
They have personal space, William.
No, they don't.
They do.
They don't. The government owns every.
The
government is attached to every company.
There's like no personal space in China.
No, I don't think so.
There's no right to privacy.
I don't think so.
But is there ever really a right to privacy?
Maybe not.
You see, no, we're getting into some other topics. Right to privacy is not really it's like the right to freedom. Freedom's not free. Comes at a cost.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing though. So, speaking about freedom,
we just talked a whole bunch of.
Speaking about freedom, elections are coming up.
Okay.
Next year.
Oh, great.
And
what are we gonna talk about now?
We have a new candidate who supports Bitcoin running for president.
Who?
Mayor Francis Suarez.
You already said that.
Did I say it?
Yeah, when it first happened.
Oh, well, I'm saying it again. But because there's new news that came out recently on an interview where they asked him about a group that is being, enslaved or marginalized in China. I always pronounce it wrong. Yoggers? You know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
There's this group in China. This is why I'm not in politics yet. I'm not informed. But there's this group in China that's being enslaved and completely marginalized.
There's a few of them for sure.
Yeah, and when they asked him, he's like, "Who? What?" And then a few hours after that, they asked another candidate, and she's like, "This is outrageous.
Stop with the fake outrage. Stop it.
And it needs to be done." Well,
stop it.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice anywhere.
Stop it though. That's hypocrisy.
Well, what do you mean?
Her saying that's hypocrisy.
Why?
Because she has an iPhone. She's supporting slavery in China. And she's supporting slavery in the Congo. Stop it. Stop with this hypocrisy we have here. This is straight up bullshit hypocrisy we have here. Who are we to speak about these things? Mm-hmm. We buy the things that they make. Mm-hmm. You and I both own an iPhone. I own an Apple computer. Mm-hmm. Our cameras that we use right now, the vast
majority of these things
is all Chinese, and it's all the minerals are gathered from Africa, which they're also enslaved. So who are we to talk about these injustices in the world when we support them? Mm-hmm. Stop it.
It's important to see where your money goes, is what William is saying.
It doesn't matter where it goes because it's still going to affect somebody.
Well, it is going to affect somebody, correct? But the idea is to make sure it doesn't affect anyone.
Not when you can't get another iPhone. Not when
unless you're willing to pay the premium for the iPhone.
No.
No, it's like no one's going to pay the premium.
It's not about paying the premium. It's that there is no competition to the iPhone that's made in a way that even with paying the premium, it just doesn't exist. The ecosystem does not exist anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. William's talking about harsh truths out here. Harsh truths.
Clip that. That's a real right there.
He's like, clip it. Yeah. Search it up. Pronounced it completely wrong. It's not. It's called Uyghurs.
Jesus.
And apparently, so they're natives in Asia, but it's a very small group. One of the 55 listed minorities.
Which I'm not saying it sucks that they're being any of that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
that there's a whole issue.
I'm just saying when politicians say those things, it's it's kind of really.
Yeah.
Not to even then go on the issues we have within our own states.
Yeah, but it is considered by some people crimes against humanity because they're it's almost genocide.
There's a lot of crimes against humanity.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not saying that's not the case.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying
I know.
everyone. I'm saying the person who says that who gets outraged about it is saying it from a phone. That's crimes against humanity.
I understand. I mostly just wanted to bring it up again just so I pronounce it correctly, because the thing is, it's spelled one way and the way you pronounce it is different, which reminds me of another thing that's spelled one way and pronounced differently. Also big news.
Not so big anymore for sure.
It's not that big anymore yet, but it was interesting when it was going down.
That for sure.
Russia had a whole military parade pretty much going on in Moscow, almost Moscow.
Yeah, they're getting to Moscow.
Yeah, they're getting to Moscow. So there's this group of mercenaries, security personnel, militia, so to say, called the Wagner Group.
Wagner Group.
Wagner Group.
Wagner Group.
It's not, okay.
You're gonna say Wagner?
Wagner.
I think it's one of Wagner or Wagner.
I think it's spelled Wagner and it's pronounced Wagner.
For sure.
That military was pretty much
that military force.
It's a force, yeah. It's not an official part of the Russian military or Department of Defense or anything like that. No, it's not official. No, that's actually kind of why they did the whole thing, because the Department of Defense, so to say, of Russia wanted to put in place someone else who would be in charge and take pretty much control of that group. And the person who was currently in control was like, no, you're going to mess it up. You guys have been super ineffective in the Ukraine war, and I do not want my group of people to get murdered, essentially. So as a show of protest, he took his militia to Russia, to Moscow. And it looked like it was going to be a coup d'etat.
Well...
But he said that it wasn't after the fact.
I think he did say it after the fact just because he didn't push forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, they stopped at some point.
Yeah, just because they didn't push forward.
Mm-hmm. I saw it early in the morning and I was like, oh, what's going on? I hate how the fact that I see everything originally comes from like a meme that Elon Musk tweets.
Elon got those.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's like this is the way I find out about it so fast. That guy apparently has no military background or like actual combat experience.
Yeah, but he's been in the front lines.
No combat experience.
That's not what I saw. Like, he's been there.
Yeah, he's been there for a long time, correct.
No, not in the... I mean, he's been with his men.
Yes, he's been with his men for a long time, and he's helped curate that team like for the past almost 20 years.
Yeah.
But him personally has no like combat experience. That group is a private group, and his main role was securing the contracts and the actual work for the group.
Yeah, but the group is efficient.
The group, what?
Like, they've been efficient.
They've been efficient, yeah. And he was worried that the Department of Defense, so to say, of Russia was going to take over with someone who's incompetent and was going to make that team inefficient and potentially take them to their deaths. So him to not let that happen took the liberty of saying, oh, we're going to do a parade. Parade's kind of like a loose term, though.
I heard protest, but I'm pretty sure, almost 100% sure, that his intention was a coup.
Yeah, there was Russian military personnel that was like helping them.
Yeah, and they just didn't do any. I don't know. Something happened and they didn't move forward, which I'm not sure what occurred. Like, nothing that I saw kind of explained why they didn't move forward.
It looked like that guy didn't have as much like backing as he thought. He did as much like. Not
even. I think it's just you don't have the army size to fight it.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, during the time, Putin left Moscow for a little bit. Which makes sense. Like, oh, they're coming in Moscow. We could dip pretty quickly. We come back. But he's been taken under custody, I think. Or do you know what happened to him?
No, they just let him go.
They just let him go?
I think he may have an arrest warrant, or he may be like wanted.
Dipped to Belarus?
I'm not sure.
I heard something about that.
I'm not sure. There will be a video up there that kind of explains more about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was big news when it was happening. But still, like, hard to find actual news coverage on it at the same time.
Yeah, I saw a video where they kind of they talked to a guy who was in Russia when that happened, and he was like, "Yeah, the people in Russia didn't even notice."
Really?
Like, if you didn't watch the news when Putin gave the speech or whatever, his comments on it, you didn't know what was going on.
His public statement,
you would have never noticed anything occurred like that. He's like, he asked his mom what she saw, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Oh, the guy was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And she said, "What do you mean?"
She's like, "What do you mean?" No idea. That's probably the video I'm gonna have. That one's on Breaking Points too, but yeah.
Yeah, so that was like big news at the time. Things were going on, but
nothing happened. It still does show that Putin has lost some grip in Russia because someone did do something against what his thing, what his agenda is.
Yeah, like he has 100% like,
or he had
satisfaction and like approval rating, and yet this whole thing happened. It's like, what's going on? Interesting, and that was interesting news.
God, that war should just be solved already.
Mm-hmm. The Ukraine war?
Yeah,
it's a proxy war.
I'm not saying we solve it. I'm saying they should solve it. Like, they should actually try to solve it. You know how
it gets solved?
I don't know.
The United States stopped sending money to Ukraine.
You just let Ukraine get invaded then, like, lose.
No,
that doesn't.
Ukraine needs to work with what they have already.
No, they lose.
You think they would lose?
100%. They're winning because everyone's helping.
Because everyone's helping?
Yeah, people in NATO are helping unfairly amount. We can. Oh, you know what? Not a tangent. It's on the same topic, but we didn't touch on it. If we did, I don't remember.
You're going to talk about the Pentagon?
Yes.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. That's exactly what I was going to say right now, too.
So, yes, Ukraine has not won. We've also been helping more so than every other country, but other countries have also been helping.
So, actually, I wanted to figure... I have a question about this whole accounting issue.
I wanted to close this out before our final thoughts here. The war sucks. I'm saying they have to negotiate. Like,
the war does suck.
Like, Zelensky and Putin have to sit down and be like, what do you want? What can I do? Because we can't do this. We're too modernized to be doing this thing. So,
I could tell you what they both want.
What?
Putin wants to show that he is the man and that he will take what he believes. But
you can't take whatever you want. It's
not whatever he wants. He believes is his.
You can't do that no more. It's modern ages. Modern ages, we don't allow this type of stupidity.
And Zelensky wants aid and support to bring money into his country while he can. Zelensky doing what America does great and playing the war.
I don't think he's playing the war. I don't think he's playing the war.
No?
I think we're allowing it. I think we're doing it on purpose.
Oh, so you think the United States is...
Yeah, we're funding this because we want to fund it.
Uh-huh.
Not the point of this topic. Continuing to where we wanted to go.
With the Pentagon.
Fucking the Pentagon. What is it you want to ask?
So, $6.2 billion in accounting errors.
Yep.
That's an insane amount of money.
Not for the Pentagon, for sure.
So I heard that there was an overestimation of the value for the what's the word? Weapons and stuff that was sent over there.
It was undervalued.
So what I read was it was overvalued. So that's my thing. Like, okay, so did they say that it was worth 6.2 billion, but it was worth less actually, or was it that it was worth less and they ended up, or that it was worth more and they said that it was worth less?
So the report I read was they sent 6.2 billion to Ukraine.
Okay. Yeah, because what I said was like it was overestimated. So then that's like that's the part that I was like, okay, did we send more than we intended to, or did we send less than we intended to?
I didn't hear it was weapons. I think it was funding.
No. It was assets like vehicles, ammunitions, satellites, and like just stuff like just general things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was things, because if it was money, then it was just we sent money. Like that's, but no, it was an overestimation of actual like equipment, materials, things, usable. And when I saw what I saw, it said overestimation of that. So then I was like, okay, well, does that mean that we overestimated the actual value and we sent less than what we thought we sent, or did we mess up? But I think they said overestimation. You said underestimated. So now my thing is,
okay. So I just
want to know if we sent. It says what we thought we
sent. The errors resulted in a over evaluation of the weapons pretty sent to Ukraine. The Pentagon has more money than it initially thought to provide additional supplies to Ukraine.
Okay, so that's a good thing on the United States front.
It's worded weird.
You see what I mean? It is worded weird. Overestimated what it had sent is what it sounds like it's saying. But the way that's worded sounds like. So what do you think?
Weird.
Do we send more? Do we ask for it back?
Send back. Ask for weapons back. Like, can you resend the 6.2 billion we sent in weaponry? I'm just trying to see what is that they sent, because it says overestimated the amount. It's all overvaluation, overestimated. So this says here that the Pentagon said an accounting error resulted in an overestimation of the value of weapons being sent to Ukraine by 6.2 billion over the last 2 years, and as a result, there is a surplus of money available for future security packages.
Perfect.
Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Tsai.
Whoever made that mistake, good for them.
I don't know.
That's the first time the government's inefficiencies has worked in its favor.
So the Pentagon told reporters on Tuesday the accounting error was the result of military service using replacement costs instead of the book value of equipment sent to Ukraine.
Replacement cost is higher, apparently.
The final calculations, she added, showed that in the current fiscal year, there was an error of 3.6 billion in 2022, and there was an error of 2.6 billion. The discovery comes as fiscal year 2023 nears an end, and it allows the Pentagon to have extra stash of money to support Ukraine's efforts.
So there's more money available.
So apparently we overvalued, meaning we didn't really send 6.2.
Do you remember how much money the Pentagon was missing?
54%.
54% of its total?
Of its total assets. They don't know where 54% of its things are.
Yeah. Well, apparently the Pentagon needs to get new accountants.
And they've done it for 5 years.
Yeah.
What a shit show.
Pentagon needs to get a refurbishment.
This podcast has also been
it's a very unscripted podcast.
Super scripted. This has just been a mess of a podcast. I just say so myself.
We've been all over the place with this one.
It's bad.
It's like there's no cohesiveness.
There is no cohesiveness in this one. I want to say that much. Whoever can listen through this or listen to even like 20 minutes of this, it's rough.
I gotta find some clips.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah. Well,
but it's a mess of a thing.
Yeah, I bet. I'm done. I got nothing else. Camera's overheating. You want to talk about something else? I could keep on talking. Don't get me wrong.
Nah, I guess we could close it out with the hot mess that we've had. Like, I don't know if we even have I don't think we've given conclusive thoughts on things.
I think we did.
I'm not sure. Whatever.
Well,
we'll get better one
if
day.
you guys have made it this far and you're
appreciated,
and we do appreciate it.
Like and subscribe.
If you think we have given conclusive thoughts, put it in the comments. If you think we haven't, also put it in the comments. One of us will be thankful for you. For your comments.
It's been another week, I guess.
Yep. It's been another week of your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes Crypto.
The Unscripted
Crypto Podcast. Hey, yo.